Hello everyone, it's me Gagan Kumar present over here to teach you physics. Let's move on to the video. Today we'll be discussing some sample questions for class 12 CBSE term 1 exam. Okay, although it's sample MCQ, no need to worry, we'll be discussing the concepts here, try to understand, and after this we'll be uploading more videos on important MCQs on electrostatics, current electricity and other chapters which is required for your term 1 MCQs. Now here the question number 11, it is given to use alloys for making standard resistors because they have some properties given here. Now mostly alloys are used to make some resistors, and how we know resistor? We know in our pen and paper we do always resistors like this. So this is the symbol of resistor and we give R, this is called resistance, the value of resistors, whatever resistor value is there. Now here if you want to make these resistors, you always want to make this R as a constant thing. Okay. So here, but thing is what, now here according to temperature and according to some resistivity term, they something they are asking like high, low, like this they are asking, 4 options are given. Now you see, if a temperature what they are putting here, first I can understand my resistance value, or you can tell also resistivity value, how it varies with the temperature. Now R equal to R naught 1 plus alpha delta T. Now if we increase the temperature, so due to some variation of temperature, the resistance value will change. If this R naught you take some initial value is there at certain temperature, if you are increasing temperature it is changing, resistance is changing. Similarly for resistivity also we can write rho equal to rho naught 1 plus alpha delta T, and this alpha is called what? This alpha is called temperature coefficient of resistivity, or sometimes you can tell temperature coefficient of resistance. Now you see, if I want my R value same, then what will happen? That means it should not change with the temperature. Then I should not take this value as more. If I will take this value as more, then what will happen? Now here this plus term is there, so this value, this from initial value 1 plus is there, so that's why something is increasing, like that term is coming. So this is increment term. So if this value will be low, then if I will vary temperature also little, or any room temperature is varying, then my resistance value will not change. This is my main aim. So that's why this value should be what? This should be low value. This should not be high. So here low is given in first option, low is given in, I am taking 2 options. Now I have to check about other point. They are telling high specific resistance, low specific resistance. Now understand about specific resistance. This R also can be written as rho L by A. So what is rho? Rho is resistivity, L is length, A is area. And this resistivity also called as specific resistance also. So if I want more resistance value, either I can have high resistivity or more length, because R is directly proportional to rho also, R is directly proportional to length also. But if length I will take more, then my resistance will become a big resistance, a resistor, big resistor it will become. So that's why I will not take more length. So I will be considering high resistivity or high specific resistance. So your answer will be low temperature, coefficient and high resistance. Now here it is telling a constant voltage is applied between the two ends of a uniform metallic wire. Heat H is developed in it. If another wire of the same material, so they are telling 2 wires is there and a constant voltage applied between 2 ends. Then after double the radius, one is radius R and another is radius 2R. So this one you keep also double radius and twice length. If one is L, another is 2L. As compared to original wire is used, then heat developed in it is how much, and some other initial heat is nothing but H given. Now first, when this type of comparatively questions will be there, what you need to do first? You try to understand in terms of picture. So first you put one line and make 2 resistors. So here resistor 1, here resistor 2. Now in this resistor, what you take? you take here this resistance value, you do not take R, this value also you do not take R prime. Now here voltage applied how much V, here also voltage applied V. Now here keep time C, T, here also time keep T. Now heat developed, here you keep H, but here heat developed you keep H prime, because they are asking about H prime. H equal to how much? H you can write as V square by R into T. So this is your H formula. H is the heat generation, and other formula also for heat I am telling here. Remember, H equal to basically nothing but heat developed is basically I square R into T, or you can write also V square by R into T. So in a wire, if current is flowing how much? Current is flowing I, then heat developed I square into RT, and voltage if the given, then it is V square by RT. Now here voltage, if voltage is given, then I have to use this formula. Now for both of case voltage is same, but here let me write here it is V square by R prime T. So for both of case time you take same. Okay. Now here understand, if I want to find the relation between H and H prime, then definitely I have to divide. How I will divide? H prime by H is nothing but how much it is. Now here if I will do this, V square T and V square T will get cancel. Definitely I will get R by R prime, R by R prime. Now I need to find what is my R and R prime values, and that depends on what? Just before I wrote the formula, my resistance formula R equal to nothing but rho L by A. And remember, if two resistors of same material, then this rho will be same. So rho basically tells about the material same, means rho same, L is length and A is area. Now you see here, now area if I want to write here, rho length you keep L, and area I want to write here I can write it as pi R square. What is R? R is the radius. And remember why I took this one? Now because cylinder type wire is always we take. Whenever wire word comes, we take always like a cylinder type. So it will have a small radius R. That's why radius is R given. Now area how much? Area will be pi R square. Because circle area is pi R square, that cross sectional we are taking. Cross section. Now R prime if I want to find, similar way what I will do, I will directly write, because same material, this resistor same material, their rho will be same. Here also rho, here also rho. It will not become rho prime. Now here it is rho L prime by A prime. Why A prime? Now because that telling here length and radius is different. So here I can write rho, I can write here directly. Here L prime divided by area is nothing but pi R prime square. And here in question it is given, if it is a rho, then here length is how much? Now length is twice. So it is 2 times original length, and it is pi. R prime is how much? R prime is 2 times radius, so 2R square. Now if you will calculate this one, how much I will get? I will get rho is equal to 2L divided by pi into 4R square. But here you have rho L by, this is the fast resistor. For fast resistor, this one you are writing resistance value, and for this one you are writing this one R prime, rho 2L by 4 pi R square. Now substitute here, rho L by pi R square divided by rho 2L by 4 pi R square. Now here rho L pi R square will cancel rho L pi R square, and 4 will come up. So 4 by 2 will be down. So 4 by 2 how much? 4 by 2 is 2. So H prime is nothing but 2 times H. H by prime is nothing but 2 times H. So they told here, if heat generation here is H, then how much heat generation here? If same potential and time you are giving same, then how much potential is, how much heat is generating? So here option will be how much? Now answer will be third answer. So it is 2H. Although it is little taking time, if once you understand, you can do immediately quickly. So as I am explaining here, so everything telling clearly, so that's why taking time, but you can solve with minimum time also. Okay, but you need to understand, whenever this type of thing is given, you do comparatively, case 1, case 2, 1 resistor, 2 resistor, given data, and if same material always written, you understand density will be same. For every case, in physics every time, same material means density will be same. Okay. Now come to the next question. If the potential difference V applied across a conductor is increased to 2V with its temperature kept constant, the drift velocity of the free electrons in a conductor will what will happen to that drift velocity? Remember, simple question here. Drift velocity formula how much? Drift velocity is mu times E, or you can write mu is mobility, E is electric field. Mu is nothing but it is E tau by m, and E is nothing but this is called relaxation time tau. Mu is nothing but mobility. Mobility formula is this, and electric field can be written as potential by distance d. Potential by distance d. Now here potential, you see here potential is directly proportional to drift velocity. So if potential increases, then drift velocity also will increases, and E, M, D all are constant, and as they are telling here temperature is constant, as they are telling temperature kept constant, then this relaxation time becomes constant. So that's why here everything is constant. That's why drift velocity directly proportional to what? Potential. Drift velocity directly proportional to potential. Now if it is increasing 2 times, then VD also will increase 2 times. So this is what they are asking here. So here answer will be what? Now be the double of its initial value. So drift velocity will increase 2 times. Now come to the next question. So here telling the equivalent resistance between A and B is how much, and here one picture is given and some options are given. Now you see here, so this point is A, this point is B. Now resistors are given like this and finding what is the equivalent resistance. Now try to understand here. So here this type of circuit when it is coming, always solve in point potential method. So I'll tell you one method you follow, that is called what? Point potential method. Point potential method. So what point potential method? Now here you see this point is A. Now if it is a wire and no circuit element is coming, then what you do? You take this point A to here. This is also A. If no circuit element like no resistor, capacitor, nothing is there, it is like a line, like a wire is there. Now here this point you can take to here. Similarly you can take to here also. Understanding? So A point you are taking here, because these are same potential point. If a circuit element is not there here, this will be same potential. Always remember, if it is a wire, now here this potential, here whatever potential I am keeping, this potential will be same, because it is a wire. Okay, one line. In a line always remember this is a same potential. But if one resistor comes, then this potential and this potential will be different. Potential difference will come. So that's why what we'll do? Now here we'll be considering this one is one potential. Now if this is B, now this point also B, this point also B. Now see this here I cannot take A or I cannot take B, because here it is a different potential will come. Definitely one circuit element here, one circuit element here, one circuit element here. Okay, circuit element means like resistor, capacitor, like that. So this point is C. Now I have 3 points. So this point is A, this point is B, this point is C. Now I will try to arrange this. How do I arrange? Now I need to find potential, I need to find the equivalent resistance between A and B. So I will keep A left hand side and B right hand side. Then after in between C is coming, in between C somewhere I will keep. So let me keep somewhere C. Now you see, so here if you see between A to C there is a resistor that is called how much? 3 ohm. So now take A to C one resistor, put it 3 ohm. Now see between A to C again one resistor is there, how much it is? It is 6 ohm. So keep it 6 ohm. Now see again coming A to B. So A to B another resistor is there. So I can take here A to B one resistor is there, how much it is? It is 30 ohm. Okay. Now see between B to C one resistor is there. So how many resistor here? How much resistor here? It is 8 ohm. So now 3 ohm, 6 ohm, 8 ohm, 30 ohm. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 resistor in picture. That same thing we simplified in this format. If in this format we are simplifying, then it will be easy to calculate. If in this format we are simplifying, then it is easy to calculate. You can understand these two. You can understand here these two in parallel. So here if it is parallel, two resistors are in parallel. How to find equivalent? Now just multiply the resistance value, divide by, add the resistance value. Understand here what I am telling? If two resistors are in parallel, then what to do? If two resistors are in parallel, then multiply the resistances value 3 into 6 divided by, add the resistance, and it is correct whenever these two resistors are there. Okay, so here two resistors, if a parallel connection, then you can use this formula directly. 6 into 3 18, 6 plus 3 9, so answer will come 2. So here, so this instead of this it is coming 2. Now 2 is series with what? 8 ohm. 2 is series with 8 ohm, and you know if a 2 ohm resistor is series with 8 ohm, then total equivalent will come how much? 2 plus 8, because resistors are added in series, so it will come 10 ohm. So above will come how much? 10 ohm. So total this branch, instead of this 3, 6, 8, I can write only answer is a 10 ohm, and down I have 30 ohm which is parallel to this 10 ohm. So if I will do that, I will write same thing I told. If a two resistor in parallel, value is 10 30, then multiply divided by 10 plus 30. If you will see this one, it will come how much? 300 divided by 40. 0 0 cancel. If I will cancel here, 4 7 28. So I will put one decimal point, and 2 will come down, 0 will be there also, so it will come 7.5. So what is your answer? Your answer is coming around 7.5 ohm. So understand. So here if you know this method, so how to find it point wise you are understanding, and you are simplifying this picture to this picture, then easily you can get the answer. Okay, so we'll be seeing the next question. Magnetic intensity you take basically B here. Now here I am telling, remember one formula, magnetic force is nothing but QVB. So remember this formula. With this formula always you try to calculate what is the B unity in SI, or you want to find the dimension also you can find. So here Q is the charge, V is the velocity, B is the magnetic field, or you can tell field intensity, and Fm is the magnetic force. Now from here if you will find B, then it is magnetic force divided by Q times V. Now here magnetic force, keep as a magnetic force, charge you bring it to, in terms of ampere and time, if I will bring, it will be current into time, because Q equal to IT and velocity will be there. So T is the time and I is the current. So remember Q equal to IT or I equal to Q by T. So charge is current into time. Now see, calculate Fm unit is what? Fm SI unit is Newton, and I SI unit is ampere, and T SI unit is how much? Second. So I can write second, and here V is nothing but, V is basically meter per second. Now here if you check, second cancel, Newton by ampere into meter, and Newton by ampere into meter you can write Newton ampere inverse into meter inverse. So this is the SI unit of what? Magnetic field. If you remember directly you can write it, or otherwise you can calculate like this also. So but you need to remember this magnetic force formula QVB. Okay, later it is actually exact formula, it is not like this exact in vector formula. If you want to write magnetic force, then it is how much? Q into V cross B. Remember this, and while putting this Q, you have to put with Q with what? Now with sign you have to put a positive charge, positive sign, negative charge, negative sign. So that is actually vector form formula, but from there I am directly writing magnetic force equal to Q times VBB, and here I am just calculating B. Okay, I hope you understand. Now here the coil of a galvanometer, moving coil galvanometer, is wound over a metal frame in order to what something is given here. Okay, and remember, so here metal on the metal frame, on a metal frame there will be some coils. It will be wound for the moving coil galvanometer, and that is due to basically what? Now for electromagnetic damping. Okay, so that moving coil galvanometer will act like a deadbeat galvanometer. So that is the reason, that's why you are putting here provide electromagnetic damping. So this one just remember, this is a theoretical question. Now remember here two wires of the same length are shaped into a square of side A and a circle with radius R. If they carry same current, the ratio of their magnetic moments. So here something asking about magnetic moment, and here two wires are there. So here same wire you take. So for both the wire length is same, but one wire what we are doing, one where you are doing like a square structure, and another one you are doing a circle structure. Now here square structure, how much side? Square structure all sides same, so each side is a. Now here current is flowing how much? I. Now here radius is how much? R, and current is flowing how much? I. Now remember, if a coil type structure is coming, that means it is a closed loop type structure is coming. If current is flowing there, then there will be some magnetic moment will develop in the both coils. So what is the magnetic moment formula? Now magnetic moment formula for this one, I will write suppose M1, how much it is? Now current I into area. Area is how much? Let me put area equal to small a square. Why small a square? Now because all sides are same, for a square area is a square. For this one let me find M2. So how much M2? Now I into pi small r square. So why pi r square? Now because circle area is pi r square, and always remember magnetic moment due to a current carrying loop, how much? Current into area. So this total area is a square for a square, and for this one is pi r square, directly I am writing. But they asked what? They asked find the ratio of their magnetic moment. So first is what? Now first they are telling square. So square, second telling circle. So that's why I'll root M1 by M2. Understanding? Now here it will be I small a square divided by I pi r square. Now here I cancels, but now we need to find what is this? A square by pi r square. Okay, but you see options are not like that. So options are something pi by 2, something like that it is there. Then definitely we need to remove this a by r. Okay, some a by term r we should take and we should remove. How to remove? See, now see, it was same initially, same length L and L. When you are making like this a square structure, then what is the total length in terms of a if you want to write? Then L is nothing but 4a, because side a, that is perimeter. Similarly here if you perimeter will see, or circumference will see, how much for the circle? That is 2 pi small r. Now here if I will calculate, both length will be same. If I will calculate here, what is my a by r? Then it will be 2 pi by 4. Now it will cancel here, it will be pi by 2. Now here if I will put this formula, if I will put this pi by 2 in terms of a by r, I will get 1 by pi, I will get pi square by 4, then pi will cancel here. So answer is coming how much? Pi by 4. So here it will come pi by 4. So understand everybody? Yeah, I hope you understand. Now come to the next question. Now the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a place is √3 times the vertical component. Now the angle of dip at that place is how much? Now remember what is given? Now horizontal component of magnetic field, just now you told magnetic field is B, horizontal component is how much? √3 times vertical component. Now here they are asking what? Now what is the angle of dip? Now remember, angle of dip basically you write as tan phi. So tan phi how much? Vertical by horizontal. Vertical by horizontal magnetic field magnitudes you can write. So here it is V you keep like this. BH is how much? √3 times BV. Now BV cancel. Now how much tan phi? Tan phi is nothing but 1 by √3. Then phi equal to how much? Phi equal to 30 degree. So phi equal to how much? If tan phi equal to 1 by √3, then phi equal to 30 degree, or 30 degree can be written also pi by 6, because pi is 180 degree. So 180 degree 6 is 30 degree. So you can note it down here. So this simple formula, remember, this phi is called angle of dip. This phi is called angle of dip, and a horizontal component is given what? √3 times. So remember, √3 times vertical component. So BH equal to nothing but √3 times BB, then tan phi you are finding. So this formula also you remember, tan phi equal to BB by BH. Okay. Now here telling the small angle between magnetic axis and geographic axis at a place is how much? Now see, it is from your magnetism chapter. Now if we take as suppose it is your earth. Now this is your called basically geographic axis, and this is your basically magnetic axis. Remember, So this is your geographic axis, this is your magnetic axis. Now here between these some angle is there, certain angle. Okay, it is around 11.4 degree or 11.3 degree. So this angle is called basically what? It is called basically magnetic declination. What do you call this? You can write sometimes D also you can write, or you can give here whatever you want, theta also you can give. Magnetic declination, or you can write also, you can write it is angle of inclination. You can write what? Angle of inclination. So either you can write magnetic declination or angle of inclination. But here you see, in here it is given magnetic inclination, so it won't be correct, and it not geographic meridian and all. You see, meridian when word comes, it is actually a plane. Remember always. So this will be not done. So this 2 can be answer, but here magnetic inclination is not correct. It is angle of inclination or magnetic declination. Okay. So this is your earth surface you are taking. This is your geographic axis, magnetic axis. Now here it is given 2 coils are placed close to each other. The mutual inductance of the pair of coils depends upon the rate at which current changes in the 2 coil, relative position and orientation of the coil, rate at which voltage induced across the 2 coil, and currents in the 2 coil. Now listen here. So whenever mutual inductance comes, it depends on what? It depends on the relative position and orientation of the coil. Okay, whenever 2 coils are placed close to each other, the mutual inductance basically symbol basically we give N. It depends on what? The relative position and orientation. Remember this word? Okay, because there we need to change. So 2 coil means this is the coil actually. This is another coil. Okay. So here if we will change some current here, so magnetic flux will change. So that magnetic flux will create some induced current here. So that's why this type of thing basically called mutual thing, and depends on the orientation also. Your answer will be our second option. So remember this. So thank you all of you. Keep watching the video. We'll be uploading more and more videos on this, and we'll be bringing also most important MCQs for Term 1 exam. Thank you.